Shut up and sit down.
Hi and welcome to this small tutorial where I'll walk you through the steps of installing the Lords of War mods for Tabletop Simulator. I'm going to assume that you have a Steam account and that you got Steam installed. If not, please look elsewhere, because I'm not going to cover that. And remember, Tabletop Simulator is just a physics simulator with some game pieces added to it. It will not simulate game logic, so you will need to handle the rules yourself. Other than that, Tabletop Simulator is a great way to play some Lords of War with your friends. And finally, you will have to excuse my shitty English accent. I'm from Denmark, so we got this kind of German accent. Well, without further ado, let's take a look at how to install the mods. First, you will need to have loaded up Steam, and you will have to search for Tabletop Simulator in the top right corner, like I am doing right about now, and click it. As you can see, I already bought the game and it is ready to be played. It is installed and ready to go. If you haven't already installed or bought the game, please do so now and pause this video and scroll down to the bottom where you'll see the workshop support page. Workshop is where all the mods for Tabletop Simulator lives. And to get started, you just type in Lords of War in the search box. When you have typed in Lords of War and pressed enter, you just scroll to the bottom of the page, and as you can see, we got two Lords of War mods. One of the mods is the playing game experience with no add-ons, and the other is the same mod with the expansions added. To subscribe to the mod, you just click the subscribe button and it will automatically be added to your Tabletop Simulator mod collection. Then, when you've done that, take the other mod and subscribe to that also. Now you got both the vanilla Lords of War experience and the expanded Lords of War experience with the expansions. Find Tabletop Simulator in your library and press play. Now give the game some time to start up. And remember, for the first time, it will need to synchronize your mods and your subscription to the mods. When it's done that, you can see at the bottom left side of the screen where it says mods are up to date, and to try it out, just press single player and press the workshop icon in the top left corner. Now you got Lords of War and Lords of War with expansions. Don't be discouraged if it takes some time to start up for the first time. It will need to download all the assets, which can take quite a while the first time you load up the mod. Afterwards it should be somewhat faster. Now you need to navigate this little simulation. Let's take a look at the keyboard shortcuts. I know the control scheme can look a bit daunting at first, but please don't be too baffled about it. It's actually rather easy to control Lords of War inside Tabletop Simulator, and I'll walk you through the few controls you'll need to control Lords of War inside Tabletop Simulator in just a second. You can of course zoom in and out using your mouse wheel, and if you hold the right mouse button and rotate your mouse, you will rotate around the table. And if you notice, I have highlighted the keys I use to maneuver forwards and backwards and sideways. If you press F, you can flip a deck, which is rather handy. When you start a game, you will need to choose a color, which you do by pressing the menu icon, change color, and select a color opposite of your opponent, in this case orange. If you press Z, you'll zoom right into the thing you're hovering over, and if you hold Alt, you can see the highlighted card. Now again, notice the keys I use to navigate are highlighted in the bottom. When you press F, again, it flips the deck, and if you hold your deck, press and hold the left mouse button to lift the deck, and then just shake it, then it will shuffle the deck. To take a single card, you just hover over the deck and pick it up If you want to take up the entire deck, you just hold your left mouse button a little longer and it will take up all the deck. You can select multiple objects by pressing and holding the left mouse button and dragging a border around all the things you want to select, and you can move multiple items that way. In this case I am moving the decks, the unused decks, outside of our playing field, and then I have judged the dwarfs to be my opponent and have thrown them to my opponent. To see your hand you can press Alt. In that case it will highlight the card and zoom into it. And a little side note, when you want to place your card and place it correctly and precisely, you can just aim using the shadow like I just did there. And if you want to reset your game, you can just press the host icon in the top, select games, and again use the workshop icon, click on it, and press the correct mod, in this case Laws of War. Now, that's all well and good, but let's take a look at the fun part, namely multiplayer. Here you can browse the available servers, which is fine if you have a friend who is hosting a server again, and you can host a server yourself. You just need to insert the server name and the password and the max number of players. Then you click the workshop icon again and load the correct mod, in this case the vanilla Lords of War. And as before, you need to choose the correct color, the team color, which in my case is orange, and your opponent will then choose the opposing color. Again, you can select multiple items by holding the left mouse button and dragging a box around it, then just delete the decks you don't need and take 2 decks for you and your opponent. Again, F flips the deck, and if you hold the deck and shake it, it will shuffle. C is very useful for zooming down to your hand, and remember, Alt also highlights the cards for you. It should be rather easy. Use the shadow to aim and put the card at the correct spot, and use C to zoom in, and hold Alt to see an even closer look at the card. That really is all there is to it, and you should be prepared to wreak some havoc on the battlefield, just like I'm doing here. Here me and Martin are duking it out with the elves and the dwarves, it seems. The dwarves are getting their ass handed to them, but then again, Martin is the co-creator of the game, so I don't really feel all that bad for losing to him. I hope you found this tutorial informational, and see you soon in a game of Lords of War.